Hello everyone, welcome to Primetime Analysis. I am Victor Onyango. Mutahi Ngunyi, on his official Twitter handle today, has made a public notice, and in the Twitter handle, he states that he has joined William Ruto and he is now fully supporting him. He has noted that while the president may have his weaknesses, he must be given time to deliver on his agenda. On this claim, I am in support of what Mutahi Ngunyi is talking about. And I think for any human being, it would only be good if you get that time to deliver on your agenda, especially when you are a new government that is coming to power. But why I depart from him is that William Ruto was part and parcel of the previous government. He was the deputy president for the 10 years that the previous regime had power. He fashioned himself as somebody who understands the workings of the government. And I remember even at one point, he came claiming that much of the activities and projects that were being launched and the successes that were witnessed in the Jubilee government were because of the meetings that were held at his current house. On this, we must note that looking at the William Ruto that we have right now, there seems to be a total disconnect. In this analysis, I want us to look and expound on the reasons why I think William Ruto has hired Mutahi Ngunyi and why Mutahi Ngunyi himself accepted to be part of the Ruto regime. Before we begin that, first of all, let me thank each and every one of you for the great support that you've been giving this channel. I thank each and every one of you for the support because you've made us reach 4,000 subscribers. This is no mean feat, and for those who have worked with us in this journey, we highly appreciate you, especially those who always remember to come back and watch our videos. For those who have not watched, if you're watching for the first time, we welcome you to this team. We promise you great content going forward. And please never forget to subscribe to this channel. And also remember to give it a thumbs up. Now let's get back down to the main issues. I want to look at the reason why Mutahi Ngunyi has accepted to fully support William Ruto. Mutahi Ngunyi is known for one quote for me. And this quote he made during the time when the BBI was being championed. And he said that you can only rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy one. I know that in the last regime, Mutahi Ngunyi and his team working at the State House were at the forefront of championing for Raila Odinga's candidature to be successful. And for quite some time up to now, he has tried to remain neutral, not to show any political leaning when it comes to the tweets that he makes and the engagements that he has. But one thing has been true. He was very loyal to President Uhuru Kenyatta. This now puts me to this question. Why do you think Mutahi Ngunyi has finally accepted to work with William Ruto? If you ask me, I'm looking at different arrays of issues and I'm whittling them down to specifically 4 reasons why I think Mutahi Ngunyi has accepted to be with William Ruto. The first reason why I think he has opted to work with William Ruto is that having worked closely with the previous regime and looking at William Ruto's tricks of dealing with key allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta, it seems there are certain skeletons in his closet that he would not want the current regime to go looking after. And therefore, for this reason, he has seen it right to build the bridge, cross over, and get into a working relationship with President William Ruto. Remember, even as acknowledged in his tweet, he was the person who coined the term hustler nation. He is also the person who coined the term tyranny of numbers. And both of these worked to ensure that the regimes and the presidential candidates that were campaigning at that time got the opportunity to be presidents. And therefore, working with William Ruto would only work and help him in ensuring that his strategies are aligned to the Hustler Nation call that he had initially coined. The second reason why I think Mutahi Ngunyi has opted to work with William Ruto, I am of the opinion that the difference between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta have been solved. And right now, we may not get to witness the kind of dirty games that they were playing in public. If you want to understand this, yesterday, pictures appeared on Twitter where former President Uhuru Kenyatta was visiting Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, one thing you must know about it, that in our region, he is one of the leaders that William Ruto looks up to. And they are very, very good friends. I know that at the meeting that they had, there could be a talk that could have taken place where Uhuru Kenyatta may be talking to Museveni and telling him that, please, let your guy go slow on me. I have nothing against him. Let him go slow on me and my family members. I guess that could have been part of the discussion that they had. Another thing of my reading is that if you look at the Mount Kenya tours that William Ruto and his UDA regime are having, there has been a minimal attack on President Uhuru Kenyatta and his family. And in fact, in some places, you'd realize that they are going, but the only topic that they have is Raila Odinga, handshake, and everything. But they do not touch on the name of Uhuru Kenyatta. Previously, they had fashioned the demonstrations that were going on as being funded by President Uhuru Kenyatta. But if you look at the trajectory that they have taken to Mount Kenya, it seems they have realized that there is no need for us to continue hating our son. The best thing to do is to turn this against Raila Amolo Odinga. And this could also be a sign that the two camps of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto have come together and that they are never going to be at war again. Now, what does this tell us? This leaves us to one thing, and that one thing is that Mutahi Ngunyi, who is an ally to Uhuru Kenyatta, will automatically go and work with William Ruto. You remember one of his tweets earlier, some time back, Mutahi Ngunyi stated that he wants to be a mediator. He wants to find a mediator that can ensure that Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto get to work together. Looking at the things that are happening over the 5 days that William Ruto is in central Kenya, the visit that President Uhuru Kenyatta had with Kaguta Museveni over Uganda, I am of the opinion that Mutahi Ngunyi's joining of Kenya Kwanza's system is a show that there is no bad blood between the former president and the current president. And therefore, as a way of showing support, he has allowed some of his allies to openly and individually get to work with this new team. The third reason why I think Mutahi Ngunyi has joined Kenya Kwanza. Of late, the communication system in the government has been down and down to the dogs. And it needed a senior expert to align and engage the public, to inform the public of the agenda of the government, what the government is doing, and the steps that the government has made in its activities. Currently, that is lacking. And that is why you realize that the president and his team have taken it upon themselves to go down campaigning and talking to the people, because they realized that the notion and the issues that are down in the ground are totally different from what is up in the government. For this reason, I believe the hiring of Mutahi Ngunyi and Mutahi Ngunyi accepting to join Kenya Kwanza is a strategy where William Ruto wants to reorganize his communication strategy with the public. He wants to align and develop issues that can make the government appear to be working. Because if you ask me, the government is already almost 1 year. And turning out to be 1 year, there is no tangible thing that you can attribute this government to. Any successful thing that people can be proud of, the only thing they can talk about is a fertilizer, nothing else. And that is why you realize that they are going down to relaunch projects that were already launched and completed with by the Uhuru administration. Let's wait and see how things turn out. But I believe he is an addition to the presidential communication team to ensure that the government projects are well communicated to the public and to also shape the public perception about William Ruto's government. Finally, the reason why I think Mutahi Ngunyi has joined Kenya Kwanza. Kenya Kwanza is already planning for its 2027 campaign. And they have started identifying top strategists who can work and ensure that the team wins. When it comes to Kenya's elections, I have never doubted Mutahi Ngunyi's insights because he has a crystal ball that sees through a lot of issues and a lot of political games that are always played in Kenya. And for me, as someone who is bright and someone who is sharp, William Ruto has seen it right to have him in his camp as early as now to ensure that they start planning their journey to 2027 elections. This is a wake-up call to the Azimio team. Kindly get your acts together so that you also find a way of countering everything that Kenya Kwanza is doing. So those are some of my reasons why I think Mutahi Ngunyi has joined the government. I don't know what you have in your mind. If you have any different thought, any addition that you can have, or any topic that you want us to talk about, please don't be afraid to speak down in the comment section. And please remember to subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and let's meet again in our next analysis. May God bless you.